Okay, hello. I have Dani on tonight, and she is a diamond leader, and I've kind of watched her move up the ranks, and so I'm really excited to hear from her. She is super young, which is really encouraging to know that she's made it to leadership level, and I can't wait for her to give us tips. She's going to give us some tips on staying motivated, staying encouraged, managing time. So go ahead and take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Okay, let me pin my video so I not get all confused. Okay. So I'm Dani. I'm 19 years old, a diamond leader. I've been in this business for almost a year and a half now, which is really, really crazy to say because I feel like my year was just like yesterday in July. I joined I'm in college, so when I started, I joined for just 300. I just moved into an apartment, knew I needed extra money and stuff, and I really wanted to take over my phone bill for my parents and get an Invisalign for myself, which I could never afford before, and I really didn't want to pick up extra hours on top of college to get that also. So I saw my upline, Cheyenne Nickerson, posting about it. I followed her from a host to post on on the Instagram feed, and I just followed her for some reason. Don't know why. God was just telling me to follow her. And then I realized what she was posting about, and I was like, okay, this seems kind of interesting. So I asked her a few questions, but I didn't have the money right then. But I was fully committed to paying the $99. I just had to wait till I got paid. And then she messaged me and was like, hey, $20 to join, want to sign up? And I was like, heck yeah, I'm still going to wait till I get paid on Friday, but $20 seems better than $99. So I joined. And I honestly was I'm pretty red too. So I just was okay, tell me what to do, how to get money, basically. Yep, I'm a $20 gal. Not many of us stayed, but here I am. I got lucky. So I just got I jumped right in. I was just tell me what to do. And 3 months in, I promoted to Ruby. So my first check was 100, and then raised a little bit more, and then I got to Ruby my third month. By that time, I took over my phone bill, and I started to look around for people to get an Invisalign through. So my goals that I started for happened really fast, and I was okay, I can do more with this. So it kind of, I liked health and wellness stuff to begin with, and social media. So as soon as I found this and I saw that people were my age and a little bit young or a little bit older making more, I was okay, seems awesome. Tell me more. So 7 months in February, I went Emerald, and then I went to conference. So that was a big factor. It literally rocked my socks off. I came out of there. I was 1,000 away from promoting at conference. Missed it, but as soon as conference was over, literally I started the next month being 1,000 away, and it happened so early into February. And then 2 months later, I went diamond and earned a $10,000 bonus also in April. And I had just turned 19, and then a month later, I think, yeah, in May, I quit my other job and went full time with this business, and it's literally been amazing. I've gotten to travel so much more than I have in my whole life this past year. I've made the best friends. My confidence is so much different. I never expected to even be talking on a Zoom. When I first started and saw Shay talking on a Zoom, I was oh, that's so cool. And now I get to share my story with people. So I think that's really, really awesome because I never expected to be here either. And yeah, it's completely opened me up to a whole other side of what I didn't know I was capable of, honestly. Do you just want me to go into my schedule and kind of what I do and everything?
Yes, I love that. I'm still so amazed. My thing's breaking up, so I'm sure that me talking's breaking up too. But I think it's so awesome that you were a $20 kit because, yeah, not many of those people stuck around, but that's really exciting and awesome. Yeah, tell us a little bit about since you went full time, kind of what you do every day and how you make time for everything.
Okay, so I originally started, I'm still in college, but I have online classes right now. I just really like being at home, so I scheduled them all online. But before I had like in-person classes. So honestly, like during the times that I was like actually going out and doing things, I managed my time. Oh, my video like cut out. Okay. I managed my time by like using the small gaps of my time a day, like to really get stuff done as much as I could. I would like use walking to class like as messaging or following. I'd make sure if I like had something during the night, I did as much as I could in the morning. But now that I am full time, right now what's working with me is trying to get up and like get my stuff done earlier in the day. I'm really trying to focus on like I'm not a morning person. I'm trying to be getting up around like 7:30 to 8:30, 9 at the max is like when I want to be out of bed getting my stuff done. So I wake up, I start with like personal development and journaling. Shay has a Zoom where we do journaling and stuff too. So I try to get up a little bit before that so that I can do my own like personal development stuff. And then I start like power hour and get as much done as possible. Then I usually head to like the gym and stuff. But if I don't go to the gym, I just straight up like finish my work before I do anything. So today I had something at 2 and I knew that once I left, I probably wasn't going to do much after that until I came home. So I made sure like I got like all my stuff done and my post like ready to go so I could post it later in the day. But yeah, like just getting as much as you can done and waking up in the morning. We're more productive in the morning, even if like I hate the morning time. It's just like a thing. So I've really been trying to get up earlier, but it's like it's a practice that you gotta just kind of get used to. Yeah, basically that was me today. Like I came home, I ate, and I was like, all right, I'm like tired, ready to lay down and go take a nap. And I already had like all my stuff done, so I was like, I can kind of lay down for a little bit. But yeah, like just using the times because I was super busy. I started with 2 jobs, and my school was like crazy. Like I had chemistry and all the hard classes like my first semester. So using the small gaps if you are busy, and if you're not like super busy, make sure you are being like intentional with your time because being full time, it's really easy to get like off track and you're like, oh, I have the whole day. But if I wait the whole day to do it, it's not going to get done. So I have to make sure that I'm like setting those times in the morning to actually get stuff done. And what do I do during my power hours? So personal development, I don't really count that as like my power hour thing. I kind of do that before. And then once I actually start working, depending on like what I have to do, if I go to the gym, I try to get to the gym around like 10 or 11, like 11 at the latest, but like earlier the better. So in the morning, I'll like do my unfollowing so I can follow new people later. I'll try to send out messages. I do like friending on Facebook and I do happy birthday messages on Facebook. So I send everybody happy birthday. It's just like another way to like connect with people and like and see your like Facebook and stuff pop up because like people and then I just try to like I prep my post usually or like prep what picture I'm gonna post for the rest of the day, and then I'll go to the gym and then whatever I didn't get done before I finish after. So usually that's like just the rest of like messaging people and following up and stuff like that.
Awesome. Okay, I could not get my thing unmuted. That's really cool. So whenever you're doing your little times during the day, are there like specific non-negotiables that you have that you make sure that you do every single day?
Yeah, so it's basically like the 6 list stuff. So I always am going to post like, I mean, when I first get up, I always do my celery. So that's one thing that it's basically like a non-negotiable. Either my celery or my coffee is on my story. And I try to have that like be me in the video so that people can see me using the products and using the stuff. And then what else? I post on my actual feed. Some days I skip, but usually every day I try to get like an actual feed post out. Facebook post that is also like the post that I put on Instagram. I'll do like just like a normal post on Facebook that's not like maybe business related. I've been trying to show my face a lot more on my stories because just screenshotting slides and putting them on my stories, I'm guilty of that, but people like to see you. And I know Julie has a big thing about branding yourself and everything. People want to see who you are. And I've been trying to do that too. And I've seen like, now that I've been putting my face on my story with like my salary and stuff, I'm getting more people like coming and asking me about it because they see that I'm using it and everything. I always like friend new people. I'm following new people, building like relationships and trying to find people who like I'm going to relate to and people that I want to be in my business. And then following up. So I follow up with, it depends on the day. Fridays, I usually do like mass follow-ups, but every day I follow up with people I talked to like the day before, 2 days before, to get it like refreshed back into their heads because people get busy and they forget. But it's the basic like 6 list stuff, and then personal development always too.
For sure. I love that. And every time I ask somebody, it's always the same. So you guys have to know that it's simple. There's nothing complicated. Nobody has any like secret formula that they're holding out on us. Every time we ask, that's always the answer. The next thing that I want to ask you about is like, if there's ever been a time that you felt like maybe you were having a slow season or a funk or things weren't going your way, and how do you stay motivated, or what encourages you?
Yeah, so I kind of went, not like, it wasn't like a funk, but I've just been in a weird, like a lot of changes happened lately in the past couple months. And like it's been like a while since I promoted. So it's like during this time, it is easy to like have your mind start switching to like discouragement and like, oh no, I'm not good at this. Like Ashley Mayfield always says, like, I'm a one-hit wonder. Like things like that can start popping into your head. But I have always been from the beginning, like, I guess it's probably the red in me seeing that no job's going to pay me $30,000 a month, no matter how long I work there. Like, so I see that money and I'm like, well, it doesn't matter how long it takes me to get there. Like, I'm going to get there. But like during these times, I just have to, a lot of it is personal development and trusting like the process and like God's plan for what your business is. And just knowing that everything that you do, it's not going to go to waste. If you're working hard right now, you're going to get the benefits eventually later. And last year around this time, like I wasn't promoting either, but right after conference, I promoted 2 times within like 2 months. So it doesn't matter like how long the wait is. I know that I'm working every single day. I'm working with new people that are excited and like ready to go too. And every month we're growing more and more closer to like the goal that we have. So I kind of like, it's just my red. I feel like literally just like trusting the fact that it's going to pay off. And yeah, things like may be slower than like I want it to be happening, but I know that eventually it's going to pay off to like what I want it to be during the time it's supposed to.
Right. I agree. I'm the same way. Like, I just like don't have a quitting bone in my body. So it doesn't matter how discouraged I get. I'm like, I don't care if I have to walk at a fast pace. Like, I just won't stop. So I love that. Also, so recently, or whenever you went diamond, so I'm assuming like you've started developing your own team. What are some ways that like you keep your team encouraged and you connect with them? How do you guys stay connected and together, and what kind of trainings do y'all do? Let us know a little bit about your leadership.
Okay. So whenever I get them started, it was like kind of a process. We were trying to find like a good training, like me and my upline to like, because for a hot minute, like everybody was like falling off, like nothing was really happening. But we ended up like finding something that like works for like one-on-one stuff. And I get everybody started like the same way, get them added to like the team pages. I always have them start on like their dirt list and stuff, their first post, and just getting them like me being super excited, like instills them being super excited. Because genuinely when I get like one of my ways to stay motivated is new blood, because when nothing's happening for me or when I feel like it's nothing happening, as soon as I bring somebody in who's so excited, it just makes me more excited too. Cause like that new like feeling whenever you started is what they have. And it just like brings it back on you because you're super excited to like help them get their shopping spree and help them like get their first distributor, stuff like that. So I always have them start with like the basic stuff, and then we go on and I just tell them like the daily to-dos, just like all the things I just said, posting, messaging, personal development. I show them like where to get stories. I show them all the training we have. And then Zooms are like a huge thing. I try to get them on as many Zooms as possible because I know that was one thing that helped me. I got on a new distributor training, and that literally, I saw Shay making like $20,000 a month, and I was like, all right, I'm never leaving. Like, I'm here for good. So just being excited and keeping up with them because they are new. Like, they're not everybody's gonna get it. And I feel like I'm different. Like, I just got it and I was like, okay, let's go. But not everybody's like that. So you have to like instill the belief in them and help them whichever like way they are personally needing it. And like at this point, when I go like double diamond, it's like a rank that you have to really focus on helping other people. It's up until diamond, you can kind of like do it yourself, but like you're popping a whole diamond and a whole emerald, and like you have to really focus on helping other people towards what they want. And I think it's Ashley Mayfield. She said swim down, so helping people at the bottom of your charts. And I am building towards like triple too, so it's like double and triple are kind of like smashed together right now. Like my ultimate goal is triple by the end of the year. So helping those people that are new, it helps me get excited because my goal might not, it feels far away, but helping like new rubies like promote to ruby, like that adds up to like the bigger picture and stuff. I hope that answered what you're asking.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. So you're working towards double, and I like that you're already keeping triple in mind because I wish that I would have planned that out a little bit better and it wouldn't have taken me so long to go triple because that jump is really hard. But if you just kind of like hop, skip, jump, much better. So I like that. What are you doing to like really plan for double, and what are you most excited about?
Honestly, the fact that like I'm gonna have another diamond under me, and I have like looking at my chart, I have the people who are not in the diamond spot wanting to go diamond too. So like that honestly just excites the heck out of me that like it's not just gonna be one person. Like I'm hoping when I go double, like I have multiple diamonds pop at the time I go double. And again, just having those other people get to experience like what I got to experience, like Ruby completely changed everything for me. I got to quit a job and I got to take over my phone bill. Like those things were huge for me, especially at a younger age. So getting people to like do the same, like that's what I'm most excited about. And yeah, just like the fact that I get to be successful, but my team, it's like really a part where like they get to step into like leadership positions too. Because that means so much to me also.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I agree. I think honestly, like when I had my first diamond on my team, I think I actually got more excited for her than I was for myself when it happened to me because it's not only like exciting to watch other people get excited, but it's like that reassurance, like, hey, maybe I do know what I'm doing as a leader. Like I was able to handle this. So what would you say is probably like, if you had to say one thing that you've learned in your time in the business, like what's the most significant thing you think you've learned?
Honestly, like it just the whole like trusting the process and being consistent thing. Like you just have to literally trust the process. Like there's no other way around it. Like your journey is going to be different than my journey. And like some people, I know a girl that literally joined the same time as me. She's a triple diamond. I'm a diamond. Like it doesn't matter that I'm a diamond and she's triple. We're both working, and literally it's like it's my journey, so that's all that matters. And like just planting the seeds. I heard a story today and it kind of like really resonated with me because it wasn't like about the business, it was a sermon. And he basically said that like it's like a little bit of a short story, so I'm going to tell it because it's meaningful. But planting seeds and like trusting that it's going to harvest, it's like a huge thing. So he said that he was in a frat and he had frat friends that were like getting in trouble. And I think he was like the president of the fraternity or something. So it was like a bad look on him. So he was trying to do something to change the look on their frat. So he was like, I'm going to do a Bible study. And he told us like his friends, and they were like, no, you're not going to do a Bible study. What are you talking about? Like, I don't think so. He was like, yes, like we're doing a Bible study. Like Tuesday at this time, be there. He left like his friend group, and he realized that he didn't even have a Bible, like to have a Bible study with. So he went to class, and he literally was like, he said he was talking, and he said like, God, how am I supposed to do a Bible study? I don't even have a Bible to have a Bible study with. And he was like, he got out of class, and you know those people that like hand out those little mini Bibles just like random places? Like I've seen them a million times, but I don't know like who they are exactly. But he was like, God be my witness, I literally walked out of the class and somebody handed me a Bible. And this guy did not know that I was a broken, lost 19-year-old kid that needed like a seed planted to him. He just handed him and offered him a Bible because that was what he was doing. So I was like, I watched this and I related to it because one, like that's a huge message. The fact that literally like he didn't know what that guy needed, but he offered it anyway. And just thinking about the business aspect, like we have to offer the business because we don't know who's going to need it, who's not going to need it. Like I plant seeds every single day knowing that somebody out there is going to need it, probably more than I do, honestly, because I joined because I just wanted a little bit extra cash. But there's literally people out there hardcore, like struggling, like can't do anything else and need this opportunity so bad. So like that really opened my eyes, like in the times that I don't want to like send a couple messages out and like talk to a couple more people. Like I know that what I'm going to do is like, it's going to help somebody, and doesn't matter the pace of what it's happening. Like I'm here, and I'm here for the long run. And I know that like everything I do now is going to pay off, and it's going to impact somebody. And me planting that initial seed is, you never know where or who it's going to like harvest into a big thing. So
that's awesome. I love that story. And I totally agree. Like, I think that I even think about myself, and like when I was offered, if you looked at me, you wouldn't know that that was like something that I needed. And honestly, I didn't even know. And I feel like, let me know in the chat if you guys feel this way, if you've been in the business, but like, I didn't know that I needed this. And especially like, and I've said this a million times, but like the money has been great, but like the person that I came into this business as is long gone. Like the person that I have become, if I had to do this all over again, and I was told like I wouldn't make a single dollar, but I would become the person that I am because of this business, I would still do it. And that's like really saying something, because it's just incredible. You learn so many different things, and like how to be patient, which really comes along with like seed planting. And I know that you're probably feeling that right now, because you said that something about this earlier, but like it's been a while since you promoted, and I feel the same way. And like once you have a promotion, it's like you're like hustling for the promotion, and that's exciting. And then you're like on a promotion high for like at least 2 or 3 months after. And then when that feeling starts to fade and you're like, okay, I don't have that motivation anymore. Now it's got to come down to discipline. And that's where I think that people fall off, is like anybody can be motivated for a short amount of time, but like how disciplined can you be? And how can you make sure that you're, like you said, running your own race too? Like, it's like me, that was really hard for me, because I've always just like been so competitive that I'll do whatever it takes to be really good at things. So when it took me so long to go triple, and I saw everybody going before me, it was so hard to stay in my lane. But whenever I went triple in the season that I did, it was so clear to me that God had saved that time. I needed something to excite me in that season of life. And I think that that's really what pushed me through, is having that like glory moment right in the right time of my life. So anybody on here that feels like you've missed your mark, or that it's taking too long, I can promise you that, like, it's like cheesy as it sounds, it is going to be perfect timing when it happens, and it's all going to make sense in the same way that it has for me, and it will for you too, Dani. So as far as like we were just saying, so you can be motivated, and I find myself doing this, that I'm like super into personal development. So in the morning, I'm like, I get up at like 4:35. So I'm like fired up until like 8, and then it starts fading, like, because at that point I've already been awake 4 hours. And I realized, like, rarely, honestly, this last month, I just haven't felt great. And so I haven't like been thrilled to work like I am used to. You know, I'm having to be really disciplined. So what are some ways that on days you don't really feel like doing this, because I'm assuming maybe every day you don't, on the days that you're not super pumped and motivated, how do you stay disciplined? And what are like things that you're like, regardless of how I feel, I at least have to get this done?
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. Like not everybody, like I'm sure everybody's heard like motivation is like not a thing. Like it's literally discipline. Like, yeah, things can make us motivated, but there's nothing that's actually, like, humans are like not motivated to do anything. We could literally sit on our couch all day, every day if we wanted to. So yeah, there is days that I wake up and I'm just like, I don't really want to do anything. But like regardless, I mean, usually self-development, like listening to like a sermon in the morning, getting my mind right and everything, or depending on like how I'm really feeling, just putting some like just jams on and just sitting down, like getting myself into like a better mood, like that will help me too. And regardless on how I feel, like there's going to be, like, you're not going to go on my social media and be like, where the heck is she at? Like, there's not going to be a day where you don't see me on my stories, at least somewhat. Like I said, I do sometimes miss a post on my feed, like, but I try as much as possible to get a post up on my feed. And sometimes I don't have like a thing. I think I saw someone ask a question about my post. I don't usually, like, I plan my posts sometimes, but a lot of it comes to me in the day of like what I do, like personal development, or if I watch like a random video and something sparks something in me. But like I always try to get a post up, and I'm always make sure I follow people or friend people. So like if I don't get both done, at least added to my network somehow. And then I try to like get some messages out, and those can be either like actual like reach out messages or asking for host to post, because sometimes like it's hard to find certain people to like actually message, but host to post messaging, I feel like if I've already talked to the person in the past and I say like, hey, can you throw up like this post, you'll get entered in my giveaway, getting host to post is also something else that like it's getting something out there, getting the word spread somehow, which way or another. So personal development is like always one thing that like really, I mean, it helps. It's like something that literally everybody says, but it helps you get into your right mindset.
Yes, I agree. I didn't really like, I did a little bit. I watched some online sermons, but until I started this business, I definitely never read a book. I genuinely don't think I ever read a book in my whole life until I started this business. Like in school, I used to literally just cheat my way through that. Like I would read 50 pages of Cliff Notes before I'd just read the book. Like absolutely not. So and two, like reading books has just been a game changer for me. Imagine that, like getting some knowledge, wild. But so let's see, we're going to do Q&A too, but is there anything else you want to say before we get into that part?
I don't think really like anything, just besides the fact that like consistency, like if you are just like, if you're showing up only like a couple days a week and expecting to get like results from it, like I forget what it is, but like every day that you miss is like a week worth of whatever. Like every week it's like a month, like every month that you don't post, it's a whole year of like work that you like kind of waste. And I think about that all the time. I'm like, if I don't do absolutely anything for a day, I'm missing out of like a week's worth of like results. And that sounds like no fun to me, because this business, time goes so fast anyway. It's already November 14th. Like I'm not trying to miss a whole week of work. So whatever you do, just stay consistent. Like the quality of like your stuff may be better sometimes, but get something out there about what you do. Like you can't just sit back and just expect people to like come to you and know that your doors are open if you're not like putting it out there that you are open for business. So that's a big thing, consistency.
I agree. I always think about this, like if you've ever been like ghosted by somebody, or like if you're in a relationship and you imagine like your significant other that you talk to like all day, every day, or every other day, whatever, and imagine them just not speaking to you for 3 days and then coming back like, hey babe, how are you? Like, can you imagine as a female how you would react? Like you would lose your marbles. And it's very similar to that when you're like, you know, posting on social media nonstop, like I'm obsessed, I love my job. And then it's like, where'd your job go for 3 days? And then you're back and you're like, I'm so in love with what I do. And it's really confusing for people. And it's the same way. Like I think about it every time, that it's like very similar to relationships, and you just really have to stay consistent. There's so many days especially this year that I've just been like, I'm really not feeling this, but you would not know it if you look at my social media most days. Like, you're going to see that I'm going to show up regardless, because it really is true. And I think Barb's the one who told me that. Like, I want to say she said one day off is like 7 days missed. And to me, that's just absolutely not going to be a thing, because it takes too much work to do this. And my thing is too, if you decide like, I'm going to do this, then why on earth, like, would you half-ass it? Like, if you're going to do it, just go ahead and do it, or don't. And I loved on, this is like stuck with me so hardcore. We had Kelly on a Zoom the other night, and she was like, what did she say? Poop or get off the pot. Y'all, I about fell out because I was just not expecting that to come out of her mouth. But it just really sizzled in my spirit, because I was like, if you're going to be here, like, just go all in. And if you're not feeling like going all in, just don't show up, because I just think that you either need to be in or out, and you need to make it happen. And so I really liked that. And I love your point too. So does anybody have questions for Dani? You want to ask her anything? I'm so excited to see you go double.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be awesome.
A long wait, but I know that, like you said, it's going to happen in the time. And like, how do I stay consistent? So messaging is like, honestly, one of like my least favorite things to do. But I know once I start messaging and talking to people, it gets me results. So that's the exciting thing. But like, I'm first of all making sure that I have new people coming onto my page that I can talk to. When I start getting stuck with like, I don't know who to talk to, it usually comes down to like, I'm not following and like getting new people coming onto my page. My page is private, so like I have to kind of build my following by like following manually and finding people who I want to like actually be friends with through like, I'm in college, so I follow a lot of college people and people like my age. And then that helps me find people to message. So like I said, with like host to post messaging, I do host to post on Instagram a lot. And that helps me because I can start a conversation a new way, and they're getting a benefit out of it. And they don't feel so pressured they don't have to buy from me. Like, they just have to post something and they get entered into my giveaway. So messaging, that's probably like the most self-disciplined thing I have to do. But like, I know once I start messaging and talking to people, I get results. So I just have to like remember the results are better than like me just sitting there and I have no potentials coming in. For personal development, I always start my day out with some type of sermon, usually Stephen Furtick, or I've been watching a lot of Transformation Church lately. Usually depends on how much time, but I'll do like a longer one in the morning while I do like journaling and stuff. And then as far as books go, I do need to read more. I was listening to Audible. I have like some books that I'm like currently reading. I'm reading Own Your Everyday right now. This one's really good. Just overcoming the pressure to prove and show up for what you're made to do. Just like inspirational things. Whenever I was like really needing to focus on like money mindset, was Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. You Are a Badass. Those were always like prime ones to get your like mind moving and like instilling the belief in yourself. Other than that, you can like Amazon, just like books, like leadership books, and there's so many good ones. Like, I have so many added to like my list of like what I want to buy, and it kind of just depends on what you need, because if you're not needing like a money mindset one, reading one about money mindset's not going to help you right then. So if you need like one about leadership, there's so many good like leadership books and stuff that you can find on like Amazon. My stories are kind of both, mostly products, I'd say, but I do try to talk on there, and I have like slides about like myself and like my story. I'll share slides about like other people sometimes and like what they've accomplished to show that like other people do this too. But majority is stories and me using the products. And then I also like have life stuff in there, like my cats, like just quotes, like what I'm doing throughout the day, workout stuff. So having other things along with like the products. So like me going to the gym, I'm obviously using our products, but it's also like what I do, like other than the business. So putting personal stuff in there also helps. But mostly products, and then business life posts are on my feed a lot of the time. So for the Zooms and my team, I make sure that I share them. Like, them knowing about them is the first step, because if like you don't share them and tell them what, like how to first of all get on. Some people are like, what the heck is a Zoom? Like, I don't even know what this is. Make sure they know how to get on, and then make sure they're informed about them. And honestly, just telling them how much they have helped you, because like people are like, oh, just another training, like awesome, but like they have genuinely, like if we didn't have Zooms and stuff, like I know people who did the business like years ago, and she said like they never had anything like this, but I never knew anything different. I started and came into like having trainings and stuff, so I always tell my team like we are so lucky. Like some teams might not do this, like a lot of people do now, but like we are so lucky with the training and leadership that we have. So like just really telling them like how much it's helped you succeed, like just getting them on there, like telling them like watch the recordings if you can't get on, like any way to get them watching and getting their cup filled with like these trainings, like it's so important. Okay. Target audience, like I said, I'm in college, but since I am like, I don't know, I don't really want to be in college, so like I don't want to just follow college people. So I try to I search like certain places. I try to get out of like Ohio and stuff, because there is other It Works distributors in like Columbus and stuff. So I will search like tags, and I usually stay around the same age, but like I don't not follow like older people just because they're like older. I follow people my age, but I also do like upper 20s, because like just because I'm young doesn't mean I can't help them and they don't need it. So most of my people are college people because I can relate the most to them, but I also follow like moms and older people because like I said, they can use it too. But target audience is usually just people that I can relate with the most at the moment.
I love it. Oh, there's more questions. Okay, go ahead.
Male customers, I feel like there's not really a difference between like the male customers and female customers. Like I've had a few of them. Obviously I have more like female customers, but male distributors, that's where it gets like a little bit difficult. I've never personally enrolled any, but I had a girl that like just randomly enrolled like 3, like bunch of boys just reach out to her, and it's honestly, we train them like the same way and treat them the same way, but there is a page that's called like Skinny Wrap Man Cave or something, that's like a bunch of the guy husbands like in a page, and it's just like all for boy stuff. But I feel like male customers, it doesn't really like differ that much. I just make sure I send them like the guy results, and I'm showing them like what it can do for them, and making sure that they know that like it's not just for females. Like these products are versatile, and it's literally just majority girls, and it doesn't have to be just girls. Like guys can use these products too.
For sure. Yeah. I think we had posted about the page before, Allie, but I forgot to remind you guys that we had that. And honestly, this is like a little out of pocket, but every time I get a message from a guy, I ask them about products like immediately. Like that's my first goal. So that's a quick little tip. It actually works sometimes. So I'll be like, hey, you want to get coffee? And they think I mean like at a coffee shop, and then they don't want to be like, I don't have money. So they usually get it. I don't know if that's great advice, but you know, I'm just here for a good time. So thank you, Dani. That was really awesome. I feel like I got some really good tips, and I just want to end with reminding you guys that, like, first of all, thank you for those of you who showed up tonight. And secondly, if you ever have like a time where you feel you're not feeling motivated, get on a Zoom or do something that gets yourself out of your comfort zone. Because today I honestly just didn't feel like working, but I had this Zoom planned, and I was like, I'm going to show up, and I feel so motivated after, because I'm like, I showed up. And like anything that you can do that makes you feel proud of yourself is one way that you can stay motivated. So if you have anything else to say, go ahead. If not, we'll close it out.
The last thing is get to events. If you have never been to an event, get to an event, because like just in September, like that was the time where like things started to get really weird in my life. So having people with me right at like when my life was like not going downhill, but like a lot of stuff was happening. Being around those people like really, really helped me. And then conferences coming, that's gonna like, I'm just so excited. I don't know what they have
Me
planned,
too.
but all I know is it's gonna be amazing. So get to an event because that will literally like skyrocket your business like no other.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Dani. And I hope you guys have a good night. See you in the next one.
See you later.